Hello and welcome to my channel Making Crafts, and welcome to Kendra's Card Challenge number 14. And this is the Gina K Designs hop, and Gina K Designs is a super sponsor for the Kendra's Card Challenge. And Kendra's Card Challenge is a challenge where you can create 15 cards using 6x6 sheets of paper. So today some of the design team members will be creating with Gina K Designs products, and so I'm going to be using the Sunny Days 2 stamp set and die set. And this stamp set is so full of so many images and little bits and pieces to go that you can make such a little scene. And also you get the dies to cut out all of the images. And so I've just taken those dies and put them on the magnetic sheet that comes with the set of dies. And so I've gone ahead and stamped out the bicycle, the 3 heart balloons, and the little puppy dog. So I'm just coming back in with my permanent marker, and I'm going to just color in the bicycle seat and the pedals and a little bit on the handlebars, because when you stamp it, it is a 2-part stamp as far as the bicycle and then the tires. And I found that they were really easy to stamp together using my stamping platform to put the bike together. But I decided I wanted the seat and pedals to be a different color, and I found it was easier just to color them in with the permanent marker instead of trying to put different colors of ink onto my stamp. So once I have it colored in, I'm just going to use my dies to cut all the pieces out. So now I'm just coming in with a piece of white cardstock, and I'm just going to add a little bit of ink to the background of this piece. And this is the background piece on the sketch, and it measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And so I'm just coming in with a little bit of light blue, and I'm just going to ink around. And I first started out with my brush, my blending brush, but I felt like this wasn't getting the look that I wanted. So I'm going to come back with my sponge, my blending sponge, and I will blend a little bit more ink in. So you can see here I'm just changing out to my sponge. You have to try, you have to try out when you're playing like this and creating a card. You try different things to see what works. And for me, using the blending sponge was what worked best. And so I'm kind of just trying to get a sky kind of look because I am making a scene. So then I'm just going to come back across the bottom with a little bit of green, kind of just to take the place of grass. But I'm not really worrying about everything blending smooth because this is just going to be a background, and it's not going to be that important. It's just going to help with the card, I believe, anyway. We're going to be putting so many layers on top that you don't have to blend this in. So I'm also going to be using the clouds. Now I didn't stamp the clouds. What I've done is I've just used the cloud dies to cut those out. It's 2 different dies for the clouds, and so they're 2 different sizes. So I've just cut those out, and then I'm just coming back around the edges with some of the same blue ink that I used on the white cardstock, and I'm just adding ink around the edges of the clouds. And as always, Roxy is with me in my craft room, so you're going to hear a little noise in the background, and I do apologize for that. So I'm just going to be creating sketch number 2 from the Kendra's Card Challenge number 14. And I've put the sketch in the upper left-hand corner so you can see some of the measurements. Hopefully it's not too small on the screen. So your background piece measures 5 1/4 by 4, your background piece measures 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. And then you have the 2 little squares that you're going to cut out. And the smaller ones measure 3 by 2 3/4. And then you have your background piece for that as well. And you can just check out the sheet is for all of these measurements. The Kendra Card Challenge is free to download, and so you get 15 card sketches as well as the instructions on how to cut your 6x6 paper. Now today I'm not creating a bunch of cards, I'm just creating one. So you can do what I do and just cut out the paper that you need for this one card. You don't have to cut all of the 6x6. So if you're interested in joining in the Kendra's Card Challenge, it's absolutely free, and there are prizes to win if you participate and create the 15 cards. So I will put all of the links in the description to the Facebook group and information on how you can download the challenge for free. It's on Kendra's Patreon page, and you can download the challenge for free, or you can become a member, and there's other benefits if you become a member of Kendra's Patreon. So once I have these corners of these pieces glued down, so I did not add glue to the entire back of these pieces because we're just going to trim them off. So I figured I would save them because I really like this paper. And when I trim these off, I think you could create another card just using those shapes that you trimmed off. Now I am just taking my ruler to help me make sure I straighten, that I have everything pretty straight on here. You know me, I'm not one to measure. I just kind of eyeball it, but that was helping me to line that up because I was having trouble trying to see if the lines are kind of straight. So then I'm just going to trim off the extra. And this is really thick cardstock. So when I layered the two layers together, it was very thick to trim off. But I love the colors in this paper. These are my colors, the turquoise. So I am creating this card quite a bit different from what it shows in the card sketches, and that's the fun thing about card sketches. It gives you a background and then you can just add to it as much as you want. So I decided that it would be very cute to make a little scene with the little dog driving the bicycle, because if you know me, I have a house full of dogs. I have 3 dogs, and anybody that I would give this card to that knows me would appreciate it because they would know that that's just my personality. That's me. I have lots of animals, and so I love my animals. So I thought it was really cute to have the dog driving the bicycle, and then I've just popped the balloons up, kind of like they're floating behind the bicycle as well. And I did pop up the bike. I popped up all of the pieces with foam tape except for the cloud that's behind the balloons. But I do come back later and add, I put 1 layer of balloon there, but I felt like I didn't want to pop it up because it was going behind the balloons. But I put 1 layer of cloud, and I didn't want to pop it up because it was going behind the balloons. But as I looked at it, I felt like it needed a little bit more. So I layered 2 clouds on top of each other for the cloud on the left-hand corner. So I thought this was a cute little way to add a scene to a card, even though we have that background design. I kind of liked all of that together. And so this is going to be one of those cards that I use that is not a folded card. It's more of a note card where I can send a note to someone, or I can even put a birthday message on the back. So I'm just attaching it to a piece of black cardstock. And I just cut my cardstock to be 5 3/4 by 4 1/2. So about about a 1/4 inch larger on each side. And so I'm just layering that up. And then when I give this card to somebody, I will add a piece of white cardstock to the back where I can write a message. But typically I write the message first and then I glue the cardstock to the back. So I'll leave it like this until I'm ready to send it. And so here is my completed card. I hope that you will join in and hop along today to all of the other design team members that are creating with the Gina K Design products today. And thank you so much to Gina K Designs for sponsoring Kendra's Card Challenge, and thank you for sending these products to each one of us to use today. Well, thank you so much for watching, and be sure to check all the information description and hop along to all of the other design team members' videos today.